Hello student, welcome to online tutorial session. Today we will start a new chapter, that is chapter number 8, an introduction to DBMS. Okay, so before going into details about DBMS, okay, I will tell you the meaning of the term DBMS. So D stands for Database Management System. Okay, so DBMS stands for Database Management System. Okay, so why this concept of database management system comes first, so we have to know. So before the DBMS, there is a file system, file processing system is there. So what is that file processing system? In computer science, file processing system is a way of storing, retrieving and manipulating data which is present in the various files. So previously, if you do any manipulation or if you want to store data something, so that point of time we use the file processing system. Okay, so in case of file processing system, what is the advantage we are getting? That is cost friendly. There was a very minimal to numbers to set up and uses fees for the file processing system. Okay, so most of the cases this storage capacity is an inbuilt one, so that's why we don't need to set or don't need to invest much cost in it. Okay, number two, easy to use. File system requires very basic learning of understanding, hence it is very easy to use. Next is the high scalability. So why scalability means that one can and very easily switch from smaller to larger file as per the size of they need. So that is also a very good advantage also in this case. So each and every way there is a advantage we are able to see, but there are some disadvantage also there. There are few more advantages is also there that we will discussing today. Okay, so how actually files are actually processing in it, that there is a first actually if you I am drawing it as a diagram for you that how it is stored. Okay, so there is a student data. Suppose is a fees payment details. I am writing fees payment details. Another one is the marks of the exam. Marks. So this all the student data that who are actually in the student for class 1 to class 12. Okay, that are kept in a file A. Okay, and this record, that is fees payment record, we have kept in file B, and the marks we have kept in file C. Okay, so in this way this is the lower, and then from there we can have one application, we can running the other application, from here another application, from here another one, from here one application, from here, and after then from there we will getting the R1, R2, R3 and R4. R1, R3, R4 are the reports. Okay, so in this way we are actually, this is the structure or the generalization, and you can say in this way it is working. So if the cost is less, it is very easy to set up. We can easily search it or make it and find it out in ascending descending order. Then why we are today not using the file processing system? There is lots of drawback is associated with it. What are the drawbacks or disadvantages? First is the data duplication and the inconsistency. Okay, same data may need to be stored in different files. Okay, so what will happen if your same data is stored in different area? That is increase the disk space. Okay, and another one, the second problem that is generated, that is data integrity. So collection of data is said to be have integrated if it is logically consisting everywhere. For example, if a student section gets changed, then the same changes need to be updated in all the file where the section of the student is stored. However, chances are that due to the manual or other mistake, the same data may not get updated everywhere, leading to the inconsistency, and this is the problem of a data integrity. Okay, so it may happen that in one part we have changed it. Okay, there is a section change in the student database, it is changed. But in case of marks file or any other payment details or everything, that is not changed. So that leads to a inconsistency, that the student is there is still in section A or in B. Okay, right now it is showing B, but here in the previous database there is not change. So that leads to this data inconsistency. Okay, another one, that second point you can say that data remains isolated. Usually different files are used to contain different information. If these files are in different format, then writing application program to get the combining information from a multiple file become difficult. Suppose you kept one information in a PDF format, one in document format, another in HTML format. So combining all these things and making up a application program who will take the information from different type of a file format and do the work, it is very difficult. Okay, we must set a single extension, and then single extension of a file, then that depending upon that file, the application program will write down the in application program, the code will be there and it will take the information. So this is not happening. Difficult in accessing. So application program are written to generate the report based on the specific queries. So in case a report is required based on a new query, the new application program needs to be written. That's the problem, because we will actually running a actually application program depending upon a particular query. Whenever your query is being changed, then again you have to modify the file so that you are getting the information. So that is very, very difficult. Okay, and file format dependent application, that is the main important thing. In file processing system, application programs are written based on the data file on which they will work. So this application program codes depends upon the actual format of data in this file. So in this, if any modification can made on the data type of the file, then the all application program use the data file also be required to be modified. Okay, if you change one extension of a file or something like that, then you have to modify where actually this particular data is in everywhere. So that is very, very, very difficult thing. Okay, so security problem is also there. Difficult to add integrity constant. Integrity constant is actually the rule. Suppose you are imposing a certain criteria that that employee ID. Suppose you're creating a table for an employee, so employee ID must start with E. Okay, so number two, you want to constrain that the employee must have only a single contact number. Okay, so something like or dual contact number, so not more than that. So this kind of a constraint we cannot input in case of file system. So these are the drawbacks of this file system. So this drawbacks actually leads to the invention of the database concept. Okay, so these are the points you can write down. There are 6 to 7 points are there under the drawbacks. You just write down this one. You can treat this as a disadvantage of a file system, or you can say that in other way, this point is data inconsistency or security problem or integrity constant, different format. These are not actually present in DBMS. So this is actually the advantage of a DBMS. So in this way you can write down the advantage of a DBMS also. Okay, now we are going to another topic, that is DBMS. Okay, so I have informed you that DBMS stands for Database Management Systems. Also, Database Management Systems eliminates this disadvantage of FPS. So, database is a collection of what is database? So, what is database? So So database is a collection of related data, and the data is collection of the facts and the figures that can be processed to produce the information. Okay, so one very good example if you are giving, that is the address. Suppose address is a compromising of your house door number. Okay, and next is your street name. Okay, locality, street or locality name. Then it is consists of your pin code, and then it is consists of your city name and state name. So all are interrelated or are correlated. Okay, so if you are only write in your address that is 9B, okay, it doesn't making any sense. No, 9B Southern Avenue, this makes some sense that yes, 9B Southern Avenue, this is the address, Southern Avenue is the area. So we are actually called a database when the all the information are correlated with each other, so that after correlating it, we will process, if you will process this particular data, then we will get the information from it. Okay, so you can say this is actually the database. So another one, so a database actually we creating this database actually for updating retrieval purpose also. Okay, retrieval, manipulation, for processing the information also, that is very very important. Now it comes to the next part, that is database management. So database management system store the data in such a way that it becomes easier to retrieve, manipulate, and produce the information. So this is the definition for the DBMS. Okay. So DBMS or database management system stored the data in such a way that it easier for the user to retrieve, manipulate, and proceed with the information. So what are actually the characteristics that a DBMS must hold? Number one, that is it must be a real entity. Okay, so modern device more realistic or more real world entities are designed in this architecture. It is behavior or attribute. For example, school database, that is student is that we are taken as a entity, their age is an attribute, so it is a real life information. Okay, so relation between tables, suppose student table we have made, and then another table, marks table, payment table, these are correlated to each other. Okay, next you can say less redundancy. I am talking about this redundancy earlier, that is no duplicate data. Okay, so there is a less amount of duplicate data. Duplicate data is not there, consistency is there, and different to find out the query, to give the answer for the query. So query and individually a different query language has been generated. So using this query language, you can retrieve any information from the table. Okay, multiple views are there. It is not like the whole table is visible for everyone. No, there is a better security protections is there for it. Okay, so if you apply this security, then only a few part of this will be visible to the particular user. So security is very very good, and access permission is also you can give, that who will access the database, who will not. This is not present in the file processing system. So these are actually the characteristics of the DBMS, or you can treat this as a advantage of using DBMS also. Okay, so thank you student, I'm ending my lecture over here.